Once you've cut your acrylic, you'll notice that the edges that you've cut have got some quite large marks in it that go across the plastic. And that you can feel with the end of your nail. And what we need to do with that, we need to then smooth down this material to make sure that those edges are a lot more mark-free. And the way we do that is we use a file. Now, a file is different to a chisel. It's got teeth on it here, little tiny teeth, and they come in different shapes, different profiles, some are round. This one is called a flat file. And what we do, we file it across in this direction, so we move our file in this direction and also along the piece of work. And what that does, it rubs away the material to make it smoother, and it wears it down to under where these marks are. So the technique is as follows. And what that will do is it will remove all the marks that go across the plastic and make new smaller marks that go diagonal across the plastic. Once that's the case, you then push a little lighter and go in the opposite direction, like so. The idea being that once you've removed all the marks this way, and you remove the marks that go that way, the marks that are now left in it are much, much finer. What we can then use is this paper here called wet or dry paper. Now we're going to use ours dry only, and it comes in different grades. On the back, quite often, there is a number. This one says 240, this one says 320. Now that number relates to the amount of pieces of grit, this little tiny pieces of grit on here, relates to the amount of grit there is per square centimetre. So the higher the number, the bigger the pieces of grit to fit on the same space. The 320 has smaller pieces of grit because it fits more pieces of grit into the same area. So we start with the larger paper, the one with the larger grit, and we simply rub across our edges like this, in line, applying some pressure with our thumb. And please note, I'm not pinching it around, not gathering it around like that, because that will scratch the edges, scratch the surface. I'm trying to just rub it along the edge, and that will rub out those marks that I've got in with my file, and it will make it nice and smooth. If you can still see marks that go across, you need to go back to the file. You have to go back through the process again to get it nice and smooth. Once that's done, that should feel nice and smooth. We can move on to this one to make it a little bit smoother. And that will give you a much nicer, much more pleasant, better looking finish. You don't need to apply anything else to it. You can polish it, which will make it even smoother, so smooth that it shines. But at this stage, this surface is perfectly acceptable.